Now, being a completionist isn't always a good thing. Though games usually reward you for doing everything, sometimes they do the exact opposite, and that's what we're here to talk about today. As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 video game side quests you should never finish. Number 10. ROTFACE'S Loose Lips, Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas is famous for its multitude of quests with difficult moral choices. However, sometimes the consequences of your choices can sneak up on you when you least expect them. I mean, just take the short quest with ROTFACE, for example. ROTFACE is a homeless ghoul living inside Freeside. When the player meets him for the first time, he offers to give them information about what's going on in New Vegas in exchange for some caps. And you might think that paying a homeless informant is both useful and the right thing to do. After all, you help him feed himself, and he helps you stay updated on the latest gossip. However, after paying ROTFACE a few times, you'll notice that he doesn't spend his money on basic supplies, but on utterly different things altogether. The first time around, the man buys himself a nice hat, then some new clothes, and eventually a gun which he immediately uses to attempt to kill his moneybag's employer and take all of their money once and for all. So yes, being a good person is only going to put blood on your hands and take hundreds of caps out of your pockets. Number 9. Trick or Treatment, Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines. In Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, you play as a blood-sucking creature of the night. Obviously, your character isn't a nice person, but if you ever needed a reminder, the game does include a side quest where your good deed leads to someone's tragic demise. Early on in the game, the player can stumble upon a gravely injured woman named Heather Poe. Her wounds are so fatal that the player needs to give her some of their vampiric blood in order to save her. The treatment does have some side effects though. Heather becomes addicted to your blood, and when she gets better, she offers to become your loyal servant. Accepting Heather's offer comes with plenty of benefits, like free blood and additional money. You can choose to dismiss her, but due to her addiction, she can't function without you, so most players just chose to keep her around. The only problem is, though, that if you keep Heather around for too long, eventually a group of rival vampires will kidnap her and then brutally murder her in front of you. So in the end, helping Heather either turns her into a hopeless junkie or just some kibble for some vampires. It might have been more merciful to let her die after all. Number 8. Who are you to judge? Red Dead Redemption. Now, this one mission from Red Dead Redemption 1 isn't just a waste of your time, it also tricks you into helping a mentally disturbed man fulfill his equally disturbing fantasies. The stranger mission, Who Are You to Judge, begins with John meeting a distraught stable hand named Jeb. Jeb explains that his lover Lucy is being kidnapped and begs John to rescue her, which the man reluctantly accepts. Sounds innocent enough, right? It's just your classic damsel in distress story that ends with John reuniting two lovers after an intense shootout with nasty bandits, right? Well, not quite. You see, there are nasty bandits to shoot, and John can bring Lucy back to Jeb in one piece, but, well, to put it simply, Lucy is a horse. That's right, as soon as you bring her back to Jeb, the man reveals that his relationship with the animal is a little more intimate than you might expect. As Jeb starts caressing the horse and saying sweet nothings to her, John gets laughed at by a woman that he thought was Lucy originally, and then leaves the scene with nothing but regret and shame as his reward. Well, they call it the Wild West for a reason. Number 7. Open Season, Fallout 4. The Nuka World DLC for Fallout 4 puts the player in charge of 3 unique raider gangs. However, since not everyone wants to play as the bad guy, the game also gives you the option to wipe out all of the raiders in a mission called Open Season. Now, this sounds like a nice compromise, but in reality, completing Open Season prevents you from experiencing half of what Nuka World has to offer. The quest is given to you by Mackenzie, an enslaved medic in the trading area of Nuka World. The girl informs you that you can get rid of all of the gangs by eliminating their leaders. However, after killing just one, all of the raiders will turn hostile and you'll be forced to fight all of them anyway. But all this blood on your hands is surely worth the freedom of all of these enslaved residents, right? Well, for some reason, after you liberate Nuka World's merchant, they never actually have anything to do with the place. They stay inside the park's trading area and they never change out of their slave attires either. The whole park becomes an empty ghost town, and visiting other locations on the map loses all purpose. I mean, at least the raiders took care of the place, right? Number 6. Tainting the Urn of Sacred Ashes, Dragon Age Origins. Now, in order to save the world, your Grey Warden character in Dragon Age Origins needs to sacrifice a lot, but maybe you shouldn't let them sacrifice too much. During the questline for the Urn of Sacred Ashes, the player visits a village of loony cultists who protect the urn from the outside world. They worship a dragon and try to taint the ashes with its blood in order to let it become one with them, or something like that. I mean, logical thinking is a rare commodity amongst these cults. Now, if you accept and fulfill his quest, Colgrim gives you a unique specialization for the warrior class. However, However, completing this extra objective will also cost some of your companions' approval and even their lives. If your religious companions are in your party when you taint the ashes, they will be so appalled by your actions that they will immediately attack you, forcing you to kill them. Luckily, you don't actually have to finish this quest in order to unlock the specialization. As soon as you get the reward, you can reload the game and the special class will still be there, so you don't have to let the cultists coax you into killing your friends. Number 5. Limb Clinic Upgrade. Deus Ex Human Revolution. The dystopian reality of Deus Ex is a place where you cannot trust anyone, especially the big corporations and the secret societies that are running it all. However, since the lore and the gameplay are two different things, the player might choose to lower their guard just a little bit, and this is how the game gets you. In Deus Ex Human Revolution, your character Adam Jensen can find himself experiencing some rather odd visual glitches, and your co-worker Francis will suggest visiting a limb clinic in order to upgrade your augments in order to remove them. If you follow Francis's advice and get the right treatment, the clinic will equip you with a new chip that gets rid of the glitches. However, the software upgrade does come with some unspoken consequences that happen later in the main story. When Jensen confronts Zhao, the game's main antagonist at the Omega Ranch, the woman will use a special signal that disables the cybernetic enhancements of all people with the glitch-removing chip. As you can imagine, this makes the following boss fight with her super soldier henchman a lot more difficult. Who knew that getting upgrades from your enemy's lab was a bad idea? Oh wait, everyone should have thought that. Number 4. Shielded World Event. Stellaris. Stellaris, the sci-fi 4X strategy game, features a multitude of events, missions, and side quests that you can occupy yourself with when you're not busy expanding your galactic empire or blowing up planets. Now, they usually grant you some decent rewards for completing them, but you know what, my friend? Be careful, as not every side quest should be trusted, and that includes a random event featuring an ancient shielded planet. When the player discovers the planet for the first time, their scientists inform them that it's surrounded by an impenetrable barrier of mysterious origin. It's unknown whether the world's inhabitants are still alive inside of it, but if you want to help your fellow aliens anyway, or you're just being curious, you can attempt to crack open the shield and you receive a rather nasty surprise. You see, when you take down the barrier, one of two possibilities can happen. The planet's residents might already be dead and you receive a meager reward for spending copious amounts of science points on disabling the shield, or even better, the residents might still be alive and they turn out to be fanatically genocidal geckos that immediately declare war on you and start destroying your empire from within. Oh great, thanks for that. Number 3. Coin-Operated Boy. Cyberpunk 2077. The world of Cyberpunk is a pretty cruel place. Luckily for you, not everyone in Night City is a mean gunman glitching into the pavement. You can also find new friends in the form of a jovial vending machine named Brendan. Now, Brendan is not your average AI. He's capable of cracking jokes, acting with kindness, and even giving relationship advice. When you meet him for the first time, he offers to give you some free soda if you move a dumpster that's blocking his view of the street. Now, this moment is the beginning of a beautiful friendship, but unfortunately with a very tragic finale. You see, after V and Brendan get acquainted, you can come back to him for more jokes and discounted snacks, but every now and again, you can also help him with more personal issues. Unfortunately, if you help Brendan too many times, one day you won't find him standing in his alleyway. His other frequent customer, Theo, will tell you that Brandon was taken away for a factory reset, and even though you can chase after him, the moment that you arrive at the repair shop, we'll see Brendan already halfway through his update and then gets disabled shortly after. We just can't have nice things, can we? Number 2. Darkness Returns. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Now, the Darkness Returns quest from Skyrim doesn't so much punish you for completing it as it simply takes away an essential quest item that is far more valuable than what you get in return. The quest is the final act of the Thieves Guild storyline. It requires the Dragonborn to return a Daedric artifact called the Skeleton Key to the shrine of its creator. The deed is supposed to restore a streak of good luck to your illegitimate organization, but to be honest, who needs luck when you have a demonic key that can open every single lock in the bloody game? Yes, the power of the Skeleton Key allows the player to never worry about that annoying lockpicking minigame. It acts as an unbreakable lockpick that opens every door and chest in the game without all that wiggling and clicking that normally takes forever to figure out. The key is in your possession as long as you never finish the final mission of the Thieves Guild, so maybe your fellow criminals could suffer a bit of bad luck just a little bit longer. And number 1, JAVIK'S Memory Shard. Mass Effect 3. Now, Javik is one of the available companions in Mass Effect 3 that came with the From Ashes DLC. As the last surviving Prothean, he considers other races to be lesser lifeforms. However, he's also an incredibly reliable and charismatic crew member, which is why you might want to skip his personal story mission. Before his final fight with the Reapers, if you have a high enough rapport with him, he decides to show you a special artifact in his possession, a shard containing all of his memories from the time when the Reapers destroyed his civilization. He mentions that he erased the memories from his mind because they were too painful. At this point, the player can cut the conversation short, ending the side mission prematurely, or push him into reliving his memories just to see what happens. If you choose the latter option, he will become overwhelmed with grief after seeing all of his friends and family die, and when the Reaper invasion is over, he sees no point in living without them and kills himself. Compare this with the ending where you ignore the shard and he becomes a successful author, and you realize that curiosity definitely killed the Prothean. And there we go, my friends. Those were 10 video game side quests that you should never, ever finish. I hope that you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.